So if you'll join me on your mat, go ahead and lay down and bend your knees and just let your knees rest on each other, your feet wide. And you can either rest your hands on your belly here or bring your hands out next to you so that you have a nice long spine. We're just going to be real easy and stretch the bigger muscles of our lower half. So knees together, hands resting on the belly, and feet are wide. And just start to come into your breath, taking a nice deep breath in, and then a good long, slow breath out. Notice and pay attention to the mat or the floor beneath you, supporting your spine. You've got a natural little curve in the lumbar spine, and then your back is nice and flat here. Back of the head is resting. And I want you to let your face soften here. Let's just take three nice full breaths. As you breathe in the nose, let the belly inflate. And as you exhale, letting the belly soften. Feel the breath come in and out of the nose. And you feel little friction through the back of the throat. Just starting to warm you from the inside. And as you start with the eyes closed here, and you're focused just on the breath, I want you to let go of any thoughts, any distractions. Just paying attention to you and your breath. Nice and easy. Let your shoulders settle down to the mat. And just kind of give yourself permission to just fully relax here. We breathe in, the belly inflates. We breathe out and the belly softens. Relax all the muscles of the face, even around the eyes, especially across the forehead and between your eyebrows. Give yourself one more full breath here. And then go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. You can keep your eyes closed here. You're just going to start making some circles on your ceiling here. With your hands on your legs, it's going to give you just the right amount of support to not go over too much, but make a nice soft circle, and that's going to give you a little bit of movement in the low back and those large muscles right across the lumbar spine there. You might feel the pelvis, top of the pelvis there, as your sacrum presses down into the mat, and then circle in the other direction. Just feel your body naturally rock side to side as you do this. And then put your left foot down. Your right ankle is going to go onto your knee. And then you thread the hands behind the thigh. Pull everything in. Give yourself a nice little rock side to side. You don't have to pull this in really tight. You can kind of release and pull in. Just kind of feel the edge of that stretch right outside of your hip here. And then just find a little stillness. Again, close the eyes. Breathe into the space that feels the tension. Breathe out and relax. And then you'll release. And let's just switch. Go ahead and bring your left ankle to your right leg. Pull everything in. And stretch into the outside of the hip. Just give yourself a little A little visit to the stretch, kind of pressing into it and releasing a little bit, especially if you're doing this early in the morning with me. Just be real easy with your muscles, easy with your body. Breathing in and out. And you can let the foot come down, separate your feet here, and then bring the knees back into your chest. Your knees are going to be outside of your torso now into a modified happy baby here. This is going to flatten your low back, stretch out all the natural curves of the spine here, and then let's let your feet face the ceiling as you go ahead and come into your full happy baby. Knees gently pressing to the outsides of the ribs, down towards the underarms. Breathe into the lowest part of the belly. As you breathe out, feel the knees kind of press down towards the floor. One more breath here. And then you can let the feet come together. Your knees are still wide. You're going to hold on to the outsides of your feet and draw your feet towards your chin here. So if that doesn't work for you, if your hands don't come to your feet, go ahead and put like a little strap or maybe even a hand towel around your feet and draw the legs this direction as your knees kind of go out. And you'll let the legs come back in together. Extend your legs long and then stretch your arms overhead. Nice big breath. Breathe into the low ribs. Lift the belly here, a little arch in your spine. And then you're going to hold on to your right wrist. Stretch it over your head, kind of like a C shape here in your spine, and then flex your right foot and press it towards the end of your mat, trying to reach off your mat with your foot and then over the side. So you get a long stretch from your ankle to your wrist. But what I like about doing this on the floor is that you are keeping all the good alignment. Your shoulders over your hips, hips over knees, and knees over ankles. When we stand and do this, sometimes we tend to kind of round forward or go to the side. So I want you to just feel how that good alignment is as you lay here on your back. And then we're going to switch. Hold on to your left wrist. Stretch out through your left heel. Flex that foot. If you need to, kind of lift the leg and then reach it out. Almost feeling like you're kind of drawing your arm out of the shoulder socket. Draw the belly in so you're super long on the side waist. And then go ahead and again, just stretch through toes and fingertips nice and even. Big breath, letting the belly rise. And then exhale, just let everything soften. Let the toes turn out, soften your elbows. Just big breath into the front of the body. Good breath out. And then we're going to roll over to your side and come on up to your seat with me. Take your time. If you have a blanket there to sit on, it's going to just help lift your seat a little bit, creating a little bit more length in your spine. Roll shoulders up, back, and down. We're going to take the arms overhead, breathe in, and then exhale, go over to the side. Inhale, arms overhead. And then exhale to the other side. Just do that a couple of times. Just getting lots of side waist space. Stretching some space into the lungs and the ribs. Draw the shoulder down as you come to the side. Let's do that one more time to either side. So right here, your right shoulder is coming down from your ears. You reach over to the right. And then reach over to the left. Draw your left shoulder down. And then come back up to sitting with me. Let's stretch into your hips slightly, walking your chest forward. Breathe into your tailbone there. Let your chin tuck. And then just turn your head to say yes and no here. Making sure there's nothing in the neck that needs some attention. And if there is, you're just going to be mindful of that space today. Walk your hands over to your right. Reach long through the fingertips. Stretch down strongly through your left hip here. And then let's go over to the other side. Just getting the whole body moving in all directions. Come back to the center. And then we're going to roll up slowly. Let's go ahead and let your left hand come down to the floor in front of you. When you peel your right arm up to the sky, draw the belly in, feeling length from tailbone to the top of the head, and then that twist from just below the belly button. And then come back down and fold. Breathe out. Roll up slowly as you breathe in, and then let your right hand come down in front of you, and then peel the left arm up. Draw the belly in. Nice twist here. And you'll bring your hand down and breathe out. Breathe in, roll up slowly through your spine. We're going to take our right leg out long. Leave your left foot inside the leg, sit up tall, and then turn towards your leg. And gently take your heart toward your toes, keeping your left hip anchored down, feeling the stretch. Now if you need to, you could put a block or a blanket underneath the knee here. Anything that'll give you support, maybe pillows there at home. Lift the chest, breathe in, and then exhale. Reach your heart to your toes. One more breath here. Nice single leg stretch here. Then we're going to come up slowly and go right over your ankle that's bent there in front of you. So walk your hands forward, trying to keep your legs straight and the toes and knee up. As you walk your heart forward, feel the inside of the leg get a little space. And then you're welcome to kind of move your torso right and left. There's no rush. Really, you're just here to get some space. So it doesn't have to look perfect, it just needs to feel good in your body today. Let's roll your shoulders and come on up slowly. And we're going to switch our legs. Your left leg is going to go straight, your right foot inside, and then let's take that head to knee pose. So it's called head to knee pose, but I really want you to kind of focus your chest towards the top of your foot. Because if you were to bring your head to your knee, more likely round your upper back. So let's keep the spine long, keep your tailbone down, and heart reaching towards the toes. Feel free to close the eyes here so that you can just really focus on how it's feeling in your body as you breathe in. Ooh, the birds are loud this morning. Let's take one more breath. Lengthen with the inhale, and then deepen with the exhale. We'll walk our hands up, and again, let's walk the hands forward, right onto the inside of the leg, so that you're stretching the inside, your toes are up, and your knee is up, and then reach your chest forward. Coming down as a little bit or a lot, whatever feels good, so you can always, again, put blankets or blocks here to rest yourself on, so that your spine is nice and long. Take your time, pressing down through the heel, down through the knee. And if you need to, just kind of move side to side. Just want to breathe and move into all those little nooks and crannies of the body here. And then we'll roll up slowly. Let's bring your feet wide now since we've stretched into each leg singularly. So again, if you're on the mat, it's going to let you on your blanket, it's going to give you a little lift. So we'll take the legs out. Again, if you need some space or if you'd like it to be a little easier for you, let your knees be bent and let them rest on something. Again, pillows or blankets, whatever works for you. I just want you to kind of go side to side, reaching towards the ankles, feeling length on your side body. You just go nice and slowly here. There's no rush. Notice if one side of your hip is feeling a little tender. And then we're going to keep this side stretch. Reach over towards your right ankle, and then take your left hand to your ribs, and then draw, but kind of feel like you're pulling the ribs out of your hip here. Getting lots of space in the side body, and then take your arm overhead. Soft bend in the elbow. If you're up high, that's totally fine. I would rather your shoulders be aligned right over your right leg. Good lateral movement here for your spine. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to slowly go over to the other side. So take a little breath here in the center, just to even out the breath, neutralize, and then come down your left ankle. Take your right hand to your ribs. Again, kind of drawing your, you're manually kind of drawing your side waist out of your hip, getting that good space here. So if I were there with you, I would maybe put my hands on your ribs and kind of press up. So I'm just asking you to get that kind of same assist for yourself, and then take your arm overhead and let the weight of the arm just dangle over the head. And then we'll come up slowly. Take the legs out long. Still sitting up tall, either legs supported in a bent position or straight, and then you're going to come forward any amount here. I want you to feel the length out through both heels, and then your chin is tucked. Breathe into the low belly. Lengthen up and out through the collarbones, and then fold forward. Now see if you can breathe into your low back here. Come up slowly, walk your hands over to your right leg. Try to see if you can keep your left hip grounded, and then just reach your heart towards your toes. Any amount. You're always welcome to do this with the eyes closed. That way you're not focused on how close you are to this leg, but much more how the body feels here in the opposite side waist. Back up. Again, we're going to go to the center. Notice maybe you've got a little more space there on your left side. And then roll up. We're going to go to the other side. So walk your hands over. Let the chin tuck. That way the back of the neck is long. Every breath in, you give yourself a little pause. Every breath out, you might find a little more space. So just be real easy as you breathe out and let go of any pressure. Just relaxing into the stretch. And then come up. Let's one more time. Go right to the center and fold. Give yourself permission. Just breathe out of the mouth. Relax. And then we're going to roll up slowly. Let's come onto your hands and knees here as we start to move into more of the body. Get your hips moving a little bit more. Your legs are nice and long here, as long as they might be for this time of your day. Your wrists under shoulders. I just want you to slowly do a little cat and cow here, pressing into the floor, rounding your upper back. And then make sure to put a tiny bend in your elbows here as your chest opens. Breathe out. And breathe in. Feel the belly stretch, and then feel your back stretch. And then I want you to turn walk your hands towards me if you're not already. And then bring your feet wide as we come right into a straddle stretch here. So your feet wide, you're going to root down to the outsides of your feet, and you're going to line the outside of your feet up with the short end of your mat here. Now here you can use blocks if it feels better to bring the floor up to you. Otherwise, you can just have your hands on the ground. So whatever works for you. I just want you to let the weight be in the middle of your feet here, and then you're just forward folding here. So from this side, I'm going to show you. I want you to kind of put a little bend in your knees if you need to, because I don't want you to be way up here trying to round here. So bend the knees as much as feels good, and then rest. Turn the head to say yes and no. And see if you can bring the weight of your body into the center of your feet. So if it's all in your heels, I want you to take notice of that. Put your hands to be supported, and then make sure your heels are light. Feel some length right up the backs of the legs. So this is a nice, gentle way to forward fold. It's less intense than our feet together. And then you're going to walk your hands over to your right. Draw your belly in, and then feel like you're pressing your left hip away from you. Again, blocks are a good thing here if you've got some, or even if you just have some boxes. And then let's walk your hands over to the other side. Draw your belly in, and again, press your hip. This hip is pressing away as you are reaching. So if I were there to assist you, I would press this hip in this direction and press your shoulder in this direction. So see if you can kind of make that happen in your body. And then come down. We're just going to kind of go side to side. Bend the knee, one, then the other. Just nice and gentle. This is going to start to stretch in the inside of the leg. So you'll come down as much as feels good here. Maybe even coming down as low as lifting the toes, pressing your hips back. Feel that inner thigh stretch. And then come up and over, go to the other side. So I come up onto the toes of this foot. This leg externally rotates and the toes turn up, and I'm pushing my hips back. And you can stay in that position or kind of go side to side, getting those legs nice and long. Take your time, make sure you get a full breath out as you come down here. And then we're going to keep our left hand down and take your right arm up. Big breath in. Feel how the hand or the elbow inside the leg gives you good leverage to twist from the low back. And then breathe out. Let's come up and over to the other side. So if you're up high, you just stay right here and you take the arm up. Just find that range that feels good to you. You can even do this from a sitting position. We'll bring the hand down, and again, come right back into your fold. Maybe you've got a little bit more space here. Breathe out. And then we roll up nice and slow. So right here, we're just going to kind of wave the body. As you inhale, I want you to bend the knees, kind of squeeze those hamstrings, and then exhale, straighten up the legs. So inhale, tailbone comes down, squeeze the hamstrings. Exhale, press the legs straight and lengthen. One more time. And breathe out. Give yourself a little opportunity to just let the torso feel nice and long here. Perhaps hold opposite elbows. Sway side to side. Deep breath in and out of the nose. Then go ahead and put the hands on the floor, on your mat there, and you're going to walk your hands over to your right leg. Let your left knee come down and sink into the hips here. This is going to help stretch your left hip flexor. Lengthen out through the top of the head. And breathe out as your hips sink here, stretching here. So the way you kind of gauge your stretch here is the distance from this heel to this knee. So if you need less stretch Bring that knee in a little closer. You're just trying not to let this knee go past your ankle. You want to try to keep that knee right over the ankle, keeping good alignment there. Just take one more breath. And then shift your hips back, straighten the leg, hamstring stretch. So as we hold it statically, just being nice and still, feel the breath come into the body. Feel that inner thigh rolling down so that the leg is nice and straight, and you're gently drawing this hip back. Let's go back into the bent knee, so we come into the lunge. Get all that space for your hip flexor, eventually space for the back there. And then shift back again, straighten the leg. This time I want you to take your hands outside the leg. Ooh, and that's going to change that stretch, the outside of the knee and hip. And right here you can kind of move your hips side to side, and that'll change the way that stretch helps you in your front leg. As you reach outside of the leg, feel space from the wrist back through your opposite hip. And then go ahead and walk your hands towards me. You're going to be on your knee here. Turn your toes towards this direction. And then we come into gate pose. Inner thigh stretch, arm down the leg, left arm way overhead. Breathe into your ribs. And then let's activate our back body. Your hand comes down. I want you to press your hips towards me. Reach your arm up overhead. Big breath in. Full breath out, and then we come on down. And now you're going to turn so that you can do the lunge to the other side. So now your left foot is forward. You're going to sink the hips here, stretching now into your right hip flexor. So maybe tent your fingertips there, or hands on blocks works here as well. Again, you're gauging that stretch from the heel here all the way back through the back knee. Allow yourself to just close the eyes and pay attention to where you feel this most. Where's the intensity? And see if you can release that space as you breathe out. And we'll shift back and straighten your front leg. Little hamstring stretch. Belly pulls in, lift up through the toes, reaching your chest towards the top of the foot. One more breath here, feeling all the length, all the good stretch, and then we'll bend into the knee again, sinking. Maybe you spend a lot of time working from home and sitting, or if maybe you're watching this way later down the road in the replay, and you've been in your car doing any traveling, these are some good stretches. Just to get all the movement, all the space in your lower half, making your back feel good. And then sit back, straighten the leg. And again, we're going to walk our hands outside of the leg. So take your hands over to the side. And here you're stretching back through this hip as it presses back. And then you are reaching long through your right wrist. And you want to feel free to just kind of move side to side, making it feel good in your body. And then again, you'll walk your hands to the front, coming into the gate pose. The toes turn out. We come up tall, roll shoulders back, and then come down the straight leg. Right arm goes up and over. Nice side stretch. And then again, let's activate your back body. Your hand comes down, your arm goes up overhead. So squeeze the glutes, hips go forward, and your arm goes up overhead. Feel that nice little kind of half back bend here. then we're gonna come down. Let's practice a frog pose. So a couple of options here. Frog pose has your ankles and knees in alignment, and we're gonna stretch into both hips. So flex your feet, and then find a nice comfortable place. So blocks or a blanket could be a good friend here. You're gonna come down to your forearms. And the way you increase this stretch by pushing your hips back, and then you come out of it and go forward. So just kind of do that with me. Nice and easy. Breathe out as you press your hips back. Feel that stretch. And then gently coming out of it. So if this is new to you, you want to just visit that stretch just for a little breath. And then release, come out with your breath. Inhale and exhale one more time. Let's press back, hold for a full breath in and out. And then go ahead and bring your feet towards each other and come right into your child's pose. Resting your forehead, resting your cheeks, softening your elbows. Your knees are nice and wide, and now your big toes are together, if you can see there. Big toes together. You can bring the knees in a little closer just to find comfort. Maybe even fold your forearms in front of you and rest your forehead. On the in-breath, let's come up slowly. We're going to tuck our left arm underneath and thread the needle resting on the outside of your head. So if you can rest the side of the head and the side of the shoulder. And then just reach your free arms straight forward. So we stretch into the shoulder, stretch and make some space in the upper back. And then you'll bring that free arm back in front of your face, press yourself up, and let's come back to that neutral spine child's pose. Folding the arms, resting your head, feeling the hips stretch back so it's a nice, just your body weight is giving that hip stretch today. And then come up just slightly. We'll take the right arm underneath so you rest on the outside of your shoulder and the outside of the head, and then just fold. Maybe reach long through those fingertips to the top of your mat. Then we'll bring our hand back in front of the face, press up nice and slow. One more time. Let's reach arms out long. Separate your shoulder blades here, wrapping your triceps down. Just breathe into the length of your spine from tailbone to the top of the head. You're going to carefully come up nice and slow. Support yourself on your hands, and then bring those knees in a little closer. I'm going to turn to the side for you. And you're just going to make some circles with the leg here. Just kind of re-engaging the hip. Bring the knee towards the chest. Feel that inner thigh strengthen back out. And then stretch your toes behind you, rolling on the ball of the foot. So press into the big toe and then into the pinky toe. And then we're going to do the other side. Just make a couple of circles here. Belly pulled in. Little circles with the knee bent. And then bring the knee in towards the chest and stretch the leg back out long. So we just get more space and kind of get some length into the knee that was all tucked under you. let's bring the feet now in front of you. You're going to straighten your right leg and bend your left knee. You'll sit up nice and tall. And I want you to do an open twist today. So you've got lots of space here. Just let your hand come inside the leg. Your elbow is going to press into the inner thigh. Your right hand comes behind you. Lift up through your heart and get that nice open twist. Breathe big in the whole front of the body. As you breathe out, feel the shoulder blades come down your spine. Your collarbones lift up a little bit more. And now let's take the hands behind, extend the legs long, hands behind you. You're going to lift up through your hips, press your feet down. Big breath into the front of the body, and then exhale, come on down. Keep your left leg straight, bend your right knee, sit up tall. Left hand behind, right hand inside, and again, we use this hand for leverage. Draw the belly in, open the chest. And then face forward again. All that nice space in the front of the body. Let's strengthen the back body. Press your feet down. Lengthen from shoulders down through toes. And then come down slowly. Option there, if the straight leg doesn't work, you can just come into a reverse table. Stretch your knees forward, keeping your feet on the floor. Feel that stretch in the front of the shoulders. And then come on down. Let's go ahead and have a seat with the ankles crossed. Sit up tall, draw your shoulders back, open your chest here, and then let's turn your chest towards the right. It's going to help you open up your right shoulder. Come center and then turn to the left, drawing your left shoulder back, opening up. And then come back center. Shake out those arms that were just supporting you. Make some shoulder circles here. And then we're going to sit in a cow face pose to stretch more into your hips. So we're going to do your best here. You can put your, if the legs only come into a fire log pose, that's totally fine. You're just going to have your right shin over your left. Or if you can, totally cross the legs over each other and let the top knee stack over the left knee. So the right leg is on top. You let your feet relax, your toes are out to the side. You just kind of snuggle in there, sit up tall, and then you're going to come forward, stretching into the outside of this hip here. Again, if your legs don't quite do that, that's okay. Just let your ankle rest on your knee, and as you bring your chest forward, you're going to feel it outside of your hip. Deep breath in and out. Let's take one more breath. Try to lengthen the spine and then exhale and fold. And then we'll come up nice and tall. Let's straighten the right leg now. The one that was on top is going to go straight. Your left foot inside. And then we're going to just kind of do a little experiment. See if you've got a little more space. Turn towards the leg, just like we did as we started, and then come forward. With all that hip stretching, you might have a little bit more space here, which means there's less tension in the outside of the hip, more length from low waist right up through the ribs. And then a good breath out as you just come down. Feel free to just let the shoulders round here, the head to hang. I want you to breathe big into your low back here. Kind of feel the breath slightly lift you, and as you exhale, you soften. Take one more breath here. Let's come up slowly. Bend your left knee out to the side. Take your arm down the ankle, and then take your left arm up to the sky. Press down through this foot and down through this hip and reach up tall. Let's come up slowly. And then let's try all of that on the other side. So now we're trying to bring the left leg on top of the right. You tuck in. I like to kind of just press my hands into the ground and kind of scoot my body forward so that I don't have to pull on the knee at all. But again, if your ankle just matches your knee, that's totally a good option. And then you're going to take your chest forward. So as you go forward, you're stretching into the outside of the big muscles here. So maybe kind of plant down through your hands and feet here, letting your toes relax. And just feel the stretch outside your left hip. I want you to take the top of the head forward. Good smooth breaths in and out. Lengthen up and out with the inhale. And then breathe out and soften with the exhale. And then you'll come up slowly. And then get that length on the left leg straight, right foot inside the leg. We'll sit up tall, and then top of the head towards the toes. See if you've got any more space here. Just be easy and patient with your body. Breathe in, lengthen right through the side waist. Breathe out and soften. And we'll come up slowly. Your right knee bends. You're going to take your left hand down the inside of your leg and then root down through your right hip. Take your right arm up. Palm faces the same way you do. You get a nice twist from the low belly, wrapping into the low back. We'll sit up tall and now extend both legs long. One more time, we come to our straddle, coming into your fold. Big smooth breath in. Good breath out. And then we'll roll up slowly. Go ahead and bring the ankles to cross as comfortable as feels good to you. So some people like their left foot forward, some people like the right foot. It doesn't matter here. Just whatever is intuitive to you. You're going to hold on to your knees here. We're going to make some circles here with your spine. So maybe we've created some space here. Inhale forward and exhale back. And then circle in the opposite direction. Let's bring your left knee towards your right knee. So the top of your foot is resting in the arch of your bottom foot. We're going to turn and twist towards the right. So we've got, again, another open twist here. No restriction this morning. Just nice and open, drawing your chest up, shoulders back, and then you'll take your chin over your front shoulder and look down. That way your spine is moving in all directions. Feel free to close your eyes. Take one more breath there. There is no rush. Feel all the space in your body. And then just feel whatever you don't need kind of exit with that exhale. We'll release our twist. Bring the soles of the feet together so your knees open. And then we'll come forward any amount. Just letting your spine neutralize is a nice symmetrical space here. Then we'll come back up to sitting. Your knee is going to go over to the other side. Again, the top foot rests in the arch of your bottom foot. And then we're going to turn towards your left. Let your palm face the left also. Lift up and out. And then take your chin over your front shoulder, looking down, maybe even closing the eyes. Feel the space as you draw your left shoulder back. One more breath here. And then open up towards me, feet together, knees wide. Go ahead and fold. So if you'd like a little more restorative position here, make a nice big diamond here as your feet are further away from you, and you're going to fold here. Feel the top of the head reaching long, your tailbone pressing down. And then roll up slowly. Go ahead and make your way all the way to your back. Your legs, low back, everything's nicely stretched, so go ahead and come on down. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Maybe extend the legs out long. So we practiced our straddle in a seated position. We practiced the straddle in standing position, and now you're on your back. Your spine is really long, so now you can really feel where the space, where the intensity is now. Bring your knees together and then take them over to your right. Reach long through your left arm and just rest there in your twist. Deep breath in fills you up. Good breath out allows you to just settle. Just be real easy with yourself as you let your back come to the mat again. Knees go through center and then over to the left. Reach out long through your right arm. Just wringing out the spine, wringing out anything that you don't need in your body today. Letting go of any thoughts or feelings that are just not serving you. Bring your knees back into your chest slowly. Feel free to close your eyes still. Your focus is inward. And then you'll let your legs go out long. Let your toes turn out to the side. Maybe lift your chest, tuck your shoulder blades under. Relax the face. Just without any control, watch your breath. Be a witness here to your breath as it goes in and out of the body. I want you to stay there on your back for a few breaths there. Just giving your body rest. Let go of any distracting thoughts or sounds. Just enjoy stillness in the body and the gentle flow of the inhale and exhale.
your awareness back to your breath and breathe in fully. And then breathe out nice and long. Just start to bring some small movements, wiggling the fingers and the toes, maybe just rocking the head side to side, waking up the body from stillness. And then turn the corners of your mouth up towards your ears, just in gladness for all the ways that your body moved, maybe in gratitude for any information you got from your body today. And carefully roll over to just one side, being very mindful of your low back as you press yourself up to your seat. And as you come on up to your seat, again, still feel free to keep the eyes closed so that your focus is all internal. Draw your shoulders back and put a soft bend in your elbows and lift up tall through the crown of the head. Feel the length of your neck. Feel the strength of your middle supporting you there. Take a deep breath in through the nose all the way to the low belly. And a full breath sighing out of the mouth. You can practice that one more time. Big breath in. Full breath out. Know that you can always come back to your breath in the middle of your day for a pause before you speak, before you act, or maybe just take a deep breath to absorb and remember a moment. That breath is yours to release your stress, to slow you down, to give you a thoughtful and connected pause. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's turn our hands up, bring our hands to our heart. Bow in honor of that bright light in you, as it is in every person you come into contact with today, near and far. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining.